You're listening to The Divide right here on The Gambler.
I know it's so good.
He's angling. Oh, he's regretting. He's pale. Sai! You're the man. Oh, that's hysterical. That is so good. Welcome back to The Divide. If you follow us on YouTube at Give Us a Shot.network and you're following along tonight, you would witness history in the making.
Almost history.
Almost history. Fair point. That's Sean Barnard. We are here with the man of the honor, the guy who had the gonads to even attempt this feat, Mr. Ty Edwards. What's up, Ty?
What's up, man? It was historical. It was my most watermelon I've ever eaten.
Yeah.
So I broke my own personal record.
There you go.
So it was definitely historical.
I would be more concerned if there was a time in your life where you had eaten more watermelon than that just for no reason.
I don't know, man. It was so cool. It was awesome watching you. Also, for people who don't know on the air, Sean came right into the studio and told us like, yo, he nothing but net with the vomit. So
it was coming out midair. It still found its way to go off the rim and in. It found its way into the hole there. 100% shooting percentage for Ty.
Yeah.
No, I got a little bit out. I cleaned it up. Yeah. It wasn't a lot, but it was a lot. It was a good amount of projectile, but I definitely got 99% of it in. I knew where the can was. I was prepared to go there.
Good field awareness.
I was prepared to go there.
Last minute, you decided to actually sit at a bar stool. And earlier we talked about you wanted to stand. Do you think that affected anything or?
No. Well, the plan was that was a plan to start sitting.
Good.
And then stand.
Okay.
That definitely was the plan the whole time.
All right, cool. Awesome. Look, I just lost my headphones, but I'll get them back. This was awesome. This was absolutely nuts. The EMTs were here.
They took a picture of me.
As you heard from Sean Brace, there was, living rooms filled with people, which was nuts. We just talked to your daughter. My daughter witnessed it firsthand. It's just really cool, man. And to do this for our network is nuts.
Yeah. No, a lot of people, I mean, to my surprise, a lot of people watched and got a lot of messages. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to my neighbor Ray. Shout out to obviously my family, my mom and her boyfriend.
Chris was in the comments.
Was watching. Yeah, he was in the comments. So I mean, tons of people were watching, man, and I felt the love. I felt the love. I wish I could have. I guess I wish I could have broke the record, but I'm not gonna lie. I knew that I was not gonna break that record. Like I trained for a month. I guess I should have trained longer, but in reality, I didn't want to. I did not want to train longer. I didn't want to eat that much. I ate way more than I wanted to eat the past month.
Right.
And I didn't even get close in terms of 13 pounds. My training was the most I ate was 6.5 pounds. And that was tough. That was freaking rough, man.
Yeah.
It was painful.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine that, and there's been nights where I'm like, I shouldn't eat that much. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. But to know that you're mentally preparing for something like that and then going to physically do it is nuts.
I just wanted to see how high I could go. I just want to see, how much can I get down. I didn't throw up at all in training. We were talking to Corey about it. I was like, man, I can eat more, because I didn't throw up in training.
Were you timing yourself in training?
Yeah. I timed myself. I ate 6.5 and, I mean, I was on pace. I was definitely on pace. Even 6.5, I was on pace. If I would have did what I did the first half again, I would have I was on pace to do 13. And
you tore plenty of clock left.
Yeah.
But it's just, you start slowing down. It's just too much.
Yeah.
It's way too much food, man. My stomach is not that big, bro.
Germ chimed in, and the first 6 minutes, we were like, this dude's going to do this. It was like, oh my God.
Out the gate strong for sure.
Very strong. Very strong.
I found a good show. I definitely wasn't not trying. I'm trying. It's like, maybe, I guess there was a 1% chance. I was like, you know what, maybe I could just stretch it out. Like maybe I can just keep going. But I knew I was gonna throw up. That's what I said. I knew where the trash can was. I was like, I'm either gonna do this or I'm gonna throw up. I'm not gonna stop.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna stop.
Nah, and I'm happy that every time since the silliest podcast that I've ever done, you've always made me look so good. So like I tried my hardest one to just try to get it, you know, and you fixed a few things, but I was like, at least I got the fabric down. You know what I mean?
Between you and Germ,
Mhm.
the setup was amazing.
Yeah.
The setup, I felt
That's
like
pretty
$1 million.
cool.
I felt like $1 million. And looking at it, I was like, yo,
Yeah.
I felt legit.
Yeah.
We felt like we was definitely like supposed to be on primetime TV. We pretty much were.
We really were. And the
So-
funniest thing is, I feel like there would have been even more eyes if it wasn't, you know, a Thursday night when school's starting for a lot of Americans right now. So, dude, it was so cool.
More people will watch it. We're gonna, we saw the
Yo,
replay.
heck
We're
yeah.
gonna cut up.
Yeah.
Shout out to Sean Barnard with the camera.
Man,
We
it
have some
was-
good footage, so
yeah.
we're gonna have some good content to show.
world?
Afterwards.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Some of the people in the audience in studio at the time was just talking like, I've never seen that much. Like they talked like it was that doll that throws up or whatever. And just kept going like, what is that? Or the not the Exorcist.
The
Oh
Exorcist.
Yeah.
gotcha.
I heard you guys make a comment, but I had my earbuds on. But I heard you make a comment when I ate the watermelon off the floor.
Yeah, honesty, integrity, dude. That is gamemanship.
I was not letting. I was not gonna let any piece not go down.
No, that showed your integrity right there. That showed that and I made a comment about Derek Jeter acting like the ball hit him and he tried to go to first. Yeah, and it didn't hit him. So I was like, that's the difference. Our guys versus your guys. Dude, absolutely crazy. I've never experienced anything like that. And that's what we do as a network. That's what we do as a company. We try to make things that, we try to think outside the box at all times. And dude, it's awesome. From the watch parties to this, it's been so cool. And like you said, I'm just speechless, man. Because I'm glad we didn't have to use the EMTs.
Yeah.
And I'm glad everybody got to watch that. And you went out like a champ. Like you didn't go out in the first round. You went solid 6-7 rounds right there. And
Left it all on the floor for
yeah.
sure.
Yo, shouts to Corey. He gave me that was probably the best advice I got was Corey saying, yo, finish the smaller bowl first. Because I was really gonna go for the big bowl, but in reality, there's no way I was gonna eat 10 pounds. So I wouldn't have finished that bowl. The fact that I finished the bowl,
and drank a bowl, we
and
now have
finished
that on content.
Yeah, it was a great
kinda,
feeling for me. I'm like,
Yeah.
I finished that. I got that out the way. That was 3.33 pounds exactly that.
So
bowl.
there's
Still a
this
lot of watermelon right there.
Ton.
3.3 pounds.
there's this pizzeria and you eat the whole pie, and I asked them to slice it in smaller slices.
It's Babe
because-
Ruth, the old Babe Ruth quote. Or no,
Oh,
Yogi Bear.
Yogi,
Bear.
yeah.
Cut the pizza into 4. I'm not hungry enough to eat 8 tonight.
Yeah.
I think it is. Yeah.
But I did the reverse. I cut it into 16.
Okay.
And I'd roll them up and eat them like they're little Tostitos. And the lady's like, you're going to get this just because you're a genius. And I was like, all right, whatever. So I would have done pound by pound,
Mhm.
but just because that's the only way I would have been able to. But also mentally, that would suck too, because you would know you're 5 bowls in.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't know. But, there's many ways to skin a cat, as I would say. But look, dude, absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts. I'd be remiss if I didn't have the 2 smartest Sixers fans that I've ever met in my life in my studio, not talk some Sixers. What's going on? How do you feel about the team? Are you in a rebuild or what?
They don't know what they're even doing. Ben Simmons is out of here talking like he wants to
Oh
come
my
back.
goodness.
That's been the latest pot stirring moment, which is crazy. I can't believe I'm still talking about Ben Simmons and the Sixers. James Harden is kind of here. Who knows? We're not allowed to look at the roster according to Daryl Morey. So yeah, it's not good vibes in the Sixers universe though.
No.
Yeah, I can't. You mentioned the word rebuild. We're definitely not there. I can't
No.
say that. We have to trade Embiid for us to be there. As long as we have Embiid on our team, we are contenders.
Playoffs.
We are, playoffs
sure.
definitely, and then
Top 6 seed.
yeah. So as long as we have Embiid on the roster, and we can definitely go into rebuild phase at any moment right now, though. At any moment in time,
Scary.
because with Harden, with this mess with Harden, it's like Embiid can easily be wanting to be out the door at any moment in time as well. So seeing that Ben Simmons quote and stuff, man, earlier, that was crazy. Like, I don't know how that could. I don't know how that could happen. There's no, it can't. I think it can't happen. There's
No,
no
that
way.
breakup was way too rough.
No, it's too
Yeah.
much. The fans hate him. Like,
Well, the craziest thing to me is the way this James Harden stuff is going is very clearly making people like soften up on Ben Simmons of like
Fair.
like now we have a new villain, I guess. That now James Harden's this guy causing problems. That it's like, well, at least I don't know, Ben. We had more good moments with Ben Simmons than we had good moments with James Harden, and most of that's just because of the length of time that they were here.
Yeah.
But I definitely see like a significant change in the perception of Ben Simmons, who has spoken pretty positively about Philadelphia of recent, which is surprising, and I hate it. And it's all PR coached, absolutely, but it is what it is, and it blows my mind that there's been kind of a narrative change.
Yeah, I look like you never know what you got till it's gone, and that goes on both sides, right? So
Yeah.
the player or even the team. But in this sense, like, yeah, it's not like he went out and performed like you guys thought he was when you signed him to that crazy contract. Because I remember when we created Stuff About Sports, the first post was that signing of Ben Simmons.
was it?
Yeah, it was.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
it was, dude. The first episode, we gassed up about this man. So
Yeah.
there was a time where it felt like this guy was.
He was supposed to be LeBron. He was supposed to be LeBron.
Well, he hit his peak at like 22 years old. That was the best. And even like last year he was worse with the Nets than he ever was with the Sixers. That he's a shell of himself as a player. That he averaged 6.9 points per game last year. And like, no, he was never a scorer, but now there's just no threat of offense whatsoever. And I get all the talk about the back getting healthier, stuff like that, but like, I just don't see it. And all this like the new, shirtless videos of him shooting jumpers coming out and all that in the offseason propaganda. We're in the same cycle of Ben Simmons. And I think it's like there's a certain point where you're either cut for it and you're built for it or you're not. And this guy very clearly is just not.
Yo, that's it right there. He's not built for it, man. And the back issue, I used to go to a chiropractor. And one of the main things he talks about is stress. He's like, yo, that plays a big factor in your back pain. Like, because he would like, do the massages or whatever. Then he would literally be our therapist. He would ask me about my life. And then like later I learned, I'm actually we work together now. I'm building his website. And you learn about, these different issues with your body.
Yeah.
And it's like his back issues isn't all physical, man. It's mental.
Yeah.
He's always going to have back issues. He's always going to have back issues because he's a punk. And he's not built.
Nice, clean.
He's not built. I want to say, right?
No.
He's not built for the bright lights and the NBA and having people expect a lot out of him. Like he just relies on his God-given talent and not going above and beyond that. And that, like, he's not built for it.
That's always been the root of everything with him. Is it's all mental stuff. He shot 34% from the free throw line in the playoffs. That is not a physical issue. Every single human being can shoot 34% from the free throw line. Yeah. It's just you're in your own head and it spirals. And that's been the thing with him. And
facts.
That takes, like, as much as like we can write that off and identify it as that honestly may be harder to fix than any sort of like physical issue or area of your game. That takes a whole lot of, first off, like self-reflection of, I need to change this. I need to fix this. Right. To actually take those steps is a whole nother thing.
We don't want to see him in the gym. We want to see him on a therapist couch.
For real.
we don't want to see him shirtless. We want to see him with the shirt on, sitting with the counselor. Like, that's what we need to see him doing, man. Like, he needs to take some shrooms. What I was thinking. He needs to go on
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
He needs that A-Rod.
He needs to go on a retreat somewhere and get out of his head, man. Like, what's wrong with him?
Also, I'm annoyed about, like, a lot of people called, speaking of Aaron Rodgers, him A-Rod now. Like, I don't like that. Like, there's one A-Rod. Like, I hate to say it. Like, for better or worse, there's one A-Rod.
He's been A-Rod, though.
Yeah,
Aaron Rodgers. They've been calling him.
But now it's in the New York media, and it's just like, they're like, did you what A-Rod said about the Jets? It's like, why is A-Rod talking about that A-Rod? Yeah, what does he want?
Well, who's a better A-Rod?
That's a great question.
So I'm thinking, like, what I mean,
right.
you're rooting for you're not rooting, but you're capping.
Well, Aaron gets the edge over the fact that he hasn't got caught cheating, right?
Sure. I mean, forget caught cheating. He hasn't cheated. I don't believe. Like, he's not cheating on a level that A-Rod, that Aaron Rodgers. Right. I mean, Alex Rodriguez has cheated.
Yeah, fair.
Multiple times.
I don't know. But then you could argue A-Rod gets the nod over just for the naming rights because he's got nothing less. He's got nothing else. He's not going to the Hall of Fame. Aaron Rodgers is going to the Hall of Fame. Sure, yeah. Also, Alex Rodriguez, people would be like, oh, who's he? And you're like, A-Rod. They're like, oh, A-Rod. Oh, why didn't you say that? I can't tell you how many times. I'm like, I had Alex Rodriguez on. He's like, who's that? I was like, A-Rod? and they're like, oh,
He's a more famous for the name A-Rod.
Right.
But in terms of better for the sport, I definitely got to go with Aaron Rodgers.
yeah, I don't know.
I was gonna
Jets,
say
8 wins, Jets.
Alex Rodriguez has done like more of a celebrity kind of expansion into his life of things like
For
that.
sure.
But Rodgers has a fair share of like celebrities that he's dated and things
Yeah.
like that. He's got a pretty hot list of
Yeah, the
former
Game of Thrones.
the Game
girl.
of Thrones. He was
Yeah.
the Jeopardy that he did the Jeopardy hosting. So
Yeah.
I guess they both kind of dipped their toes
Also,
in those
the
waters.
Pat
too.
McAfee, man,
True.
giving him that content,
Yeah.
one makes me think that A-Rod's going to take where all these other guys are going to broadcasting. He's going into podcasting. I'm
Mhm.
telling you, 100%. He's going to make a deal with Pat. The minute he's done on that field, he'll be on his version of the Pat McAfee show, if not just the Pat McAfee show.
Yeah.
Well, Pat McAfee's on ESPN now.
Right. That's what
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
saying. He will become a part of that fabric in that realm. YouTube Live podcasting, because that's what everybody's trying to figure out YouTube, right?
Right.
And there's people that do it better than these big companies now,
Mhm.
and that's why ESPN signed Pat, is to try to figure out that niche. So look, like when I look around the football landscape, there's Kyle Shanahan with the best comment I've ever heard in my life about the Trey Lance trade. So Trey Lance, as you all know, was traded to Dallas for a 4th rounder. And Kyle Shanahan said, I've done better trade-ins at GameStop. And if anybody's ever frequented or went to a GameStop, that $60 game you just bought, they'll give you like $5 for.
Yeah. Literally.
So it's crazy. It's a hell of a company, GameStop, for sure. And the fact that they're still around is a modern miracle. Like,
Mhm.
with all the stock things and people just
Forgot
investing
about
in
all
that.
that, yeah.
So they haven't done anything. They haven't changed the way they operate yet, but they have an insane amount of money.
Yeah.
So they just don't know what to do yet. And I've talked to some employees from GameStop, and they're just like, yeah, we're waiting to see what we're going to do. Like, honestly, our CEO talks to us a lot. They're thinking about investing it in their employees, thinking about doing all these different things and creating different businesses and investing it back into businesses. But truly, they don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing, but they got money.
Yeah.
So it's a good problem to have, I guess.
Most definitely.
Yeah. So what's your takes on Trey Lance, that whole debacle in Dallas, and Dak?
I mean, I think everybody looks bad in it. I'll start out with, I think Trey Lance stinks. I don't think he's a good quarterback. I think that, and it's honestly through no fault of his all. This guy has not played real football in 4 years now. Since 2019 is the last time he played more than a handful of snaps. He's got, I believe, 103 NFL snaps that he's taken. His final year of college was the COVID year in which he played 1 game at North Dakota State. Like, those are the primetime developmental years, and he just didn't get them, partially through injuries, partially through other factors, things like that. But I think he kind of missed the window to have those growing pains as a player.
No.
And then that kind of puts you in a rough spot. Now, on the other hand, I don't think this is a good move by the 49ers, because now you're really saying Brock Purdy's the guy.
Yeah.
You traded 3 first-round picks to even get this guy in Trey Lance, that you're just swallowing the L on that one, that I don't think it's a good move there. I like it from the Cowboys' perspective of, like, it's a buy low kind of move. Why not?
Of course.
But you're also just stirring the pot with Dak Prescott and all those things. So I
Yeah.
honestly think it's a pretty lose-lose move overall.
That's crazy.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, acquiring Trey Lance is kind of a losing losing scenario. He hasn't really done much, but I don't think it does anything for Dak. I mean, Dak obviously has that job clearly solidified. I was trying to look that up. Who's their third quarterback, or who was their backup before?
Cooper Rush was the guy last
Okay.
year who played pretty well.
He did.
He was
Yeah.
very good.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
yeah, no, I doubt Trey Lance sniffs any playing time. Maybe there's some blowout games or something. I think the Cowboys have a great offense. To be honest with you, I think Tony Pollard stepping up is going to be huge. They still got some good weapons on Dallas, so maybe he can get some garbage minutes. But I don't think he's going to sniff any real playing time. Even if Dak gets hurt, I doubt he gets the second quarterback position.
Yeah, it's definitely more of like a flyer of like a 4th round pick for a guy that was the number 3 pick is a pretty crazy buy low move that could pay out. And Jerry Jones could look like a potential genius with it, but I don't see it with Trey Lance. I think you're kind of just bringing on a problem by bringing him in, and I do think as much as it's for sure Dak's job, that's still a little moment of like looking over his shoulder. It's like, why did they feel the need to do that? So, And that's kind of been the Cowboys' Achilles heel, is going for the splashy move and not just sitting back and letting things develop. So I don't know. I'm okay with it from an Eagles perspective. Is that
Of course.
I think it's just bringing in more issues in that locker room.
Yeah, no, I want to get a little funny here. Joey Gallo, he's an ex-Yankee, now on the Minnesota Twins. He's got as many home runs as he does hits. He's
Wow.
up and down, but the funniest thing ever happened. Minnesota's scoreboard operator is the king of just trolling people. And so Joey Gallo was playing against the Rangers, and what they put as his fun fact or his stat was he took the Rangers pitching coach, Mike Maddox's niece, to the prom. Also, that means it's Greg Maddox's daughter. But like, to note that the pitching coach on the other team's niece went to the prom with Joey Gallo is the ultimate troll in the world.
Oh,
you know?
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's the ultimate trump card of like, there's
Yeah.
no coming back. From
Yeah.
That's
You
just,
can't say nothing.
yeah.
Like, I got your niece. Like, how's that feel? You know what I mean? So,
Wow.
but Minnesota's known for finding things like that. The only thing better than that is like the Atlanta Braves organist.
Mhm.
Is that what you call him? Like the piano person, the organist.
Organist.
Yeah.
Organist.
Like when Pete Alonso comes up, they play the Family Guy theme because
Nice.
they think he looks like Peter Griffin. So that's body shaming, but if you ask Pete, but they find the funniest things. They'll play like Spice Girls. They'll do anything when the away team's coming up, and I just think that I like that stuff, man. I don't know. I think it's gamemanship, and also like it's home field advantage. That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
You know.
Agreed. I seen I don't know if you posted, somebody posted with the bat skins.
Yeah, with the pencils and the crayons.
Very
Uh, Dude.
That's pretty dope. I mean, I'm just going down that path because it's talking about things that are making baseball exciting. I'm always trying to find ways to make baseball exciting because I don't watch baseball. So, those things is what would, bring me on. If there was, intro music, like the trumpet time, man, I love that.
Yeah,
when the Mets are doing
yeah.
that. Any type of, the bat skins look dope. All that kind of stuff is exciting.
It definitely, for one, Little League World Series, that was cool. Like seeing PA team in it. And then also like seeing the Phillies cheering them on. I mean, granted, they lost. It was a heartbreaker, but those games are really cool. And like I said, the skins looked awesome. I wish I like it better than just the pink and blue bats for Mother's and Father's Day. Like, do something more unique, but also home run derby. Why can't they have those skins too?
Yeah.
I know they get crazy bats for the home run derby. Like Pete had these spray painted bats and stuff like that. But yeah, those skins were dope. I would like them to stay around. But then, of course, we'll find out that they're using that for an edge or something, and then all the fun will be ruined.
I do think baseball is making a little bit of a comeback as like the fun sport. Like I think the pitch count the pitch clock has helped a lot, and I feel like they're doing a better job of marketing everyone from players to teams. Like I feel like they're growing in that area, which was, in my opinion, their biggest deficit in the past. Like you look around these other leagues and you can name the big stars. Baseball was never that way. I feel like we're starting to hear more about the Shohei Ohtanis, the Aaron Judges, the Bryce Harpers. Like those guys are starting to be more public figures on just the general sports fan, which I think is a massive win for the sport.
I would agree.
Yeah. And finally, if you want to talk about a fun moment, an umpire was ejected from a minor league game in New York City. I don't know if you guys saw this at
umpire?
all. An umpire was ejected. He decided to take matters in his own hands. He put his hands on the player while they were arguing. And the other umps were like, yo, you got to go. Yo, but the best part is like, it's not like he goes down the clubhouse steps or whatever. Like he has to walk all the way out to the outfield to his car.
You can see it on camera? Oh, that's great.
That's awesome.
So he literally has to walk all the way off the field. Like, and everybody's the fans are going nuts. And like, as a player or anybody who's ever been in a position where an umpire is getting the best of you, like, that's a great feeling.
Oh, 100%.
Like, yeah. But also scoreboards, like players 1 and umpires 1,000, 10 million or something, So, but to see that is kind of exciting. Like, the umpires are losing a lot of authority. There's a lot of talk about if I could sit on my couch and know it was a strike, why are we still relying on some old man to tell me it's a ball or strike? Like, it's not fair to the guy.
No.
Like, have him there for optics and have him there as clearly it's wrong or something like that. Like, I'm cool, like, to have the guy behind the plate or there as the authority. but it's got to be a automatic strike zone now. It's got to be.
Well, there's still the moments where that swings a game, where there's
Yeah.
a strike 3 that it shouldn't be and stuff like that.
Yeah,
that
it's happened in Philadelphia. It's
Yes.
happened in City Field for sure.
Mhm.
You know, so it's devastating. And I know the umps don't want to be put in that position, but also like you're not losing your job. Like robots aren't going to take over. And if they do, like tennis does it the best. I don't know if you've ever seen it. Like they handle it the right way. They have real umpires, but if somebody challenges it, they look at it.
Mhm.
You know, so
Yeah, I do think that's coming with the strike
gotta
zone's the
come.
number one thing.
Yeah.
That like even like the base pass stuff like that. Like I think umps are absolutely fine with. There's enough like room for human error there, but the
Yeah.
strike zone's the biggest thing.
yeah. And some of these moves are, you got to think of it from the owner's perspective and stuff like that. Like some of these moves are strictly because of they know they have to use that as a bargaining chip with the players one day.
Yeah.
So maybe 5 years ago, if players threatened strikes, they're like, "We'll give you robot umps," you know.
The good old
but,
CBA.
But listen, this is the Divide live on Fox Sports The Gambler. I want to thank Bert, Corey, Ty, more importantly Ty,
For sure.
for doing this most amazing thing. Our guest of honor, Sean Barnard, and Sean was like, "Hey, that's an old
appreciate
picture
it.
of me." Yeah. And the man behind the scenes doing it while working as a firefighter right now, Germ, and also the EMTs that came to make sure I didn't have to revive Ty. That was my biggest fear, man. But this is the Divide live on Fox Sports The Gambler. Stick around for Tim O'Keefe and Balls, Bats, and Bets. Good night, everybody.
Peace.